Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is at Phil the Pain PW, or Nick Payne if you prefer, and you're watching my 15th episode now on my F1 2020 MyTeam career. And if you haven't checked out my last episodes, please go do so now. My last episode, the last race of course, was at the Belgium Grand Prix in Spa, and it was not greatest of qualifying sessions for me. I did qualify in P16 due to grid penalties. I did start P14, but as you can see, did pick up quite a few quick overtakes during the starting procedure and like throughout the race as well. Wet weather, of course, made things easier for me suddenly, a lot harder for the AI, and I did finish in P6 due to good strategy as well, coming onto the soft tyre at the perfect time. So perfect for us, and I'm happy with that. A good load of points again for the team, and obviously with the amount of money we've got in the bank at the moment, I do think it's time that we need to keep spending it, keep getting to that stage. So we do upgrade the chassis build time, which improves it by 20% on all upgrades. So great for us. And now we can see how we get on at qualifying at Monza. So here we are, finally at Monza. To be honest, this is my favourite track on the calendar, to be honest. I've grown up with this track, like, ever since I started playing when I was a young kid, with my dad obviously playing alongside me. So this has a special place in my heart, the Monza's track. Obviously it's a great track as it is. It's very high speed, a lot of small corners like this one, the chicane here at turn 4 and 5. I do sort of cut the corner there and dip a toe actually into the gravel, which wasn't great as we come through into turn 6, into turn 7, and then up another massive long straight. If you do get those right, then you do gain quite a bit of time. If you get them wrong though, then you're like slow through the whole rest of the lap. So you do have to get that right, as we are on qualifying, and no retakes as we go deep into the Ascari and round turn 10 up the back straight just before Parabolica. Can we get a good exit into Parabolic, or Parabolica should I say, as we go through, break up the 50-metre board and just accelerate as quickly as we can. And it does look like it's going to be a good lap as we go across the line. And it's going to be good enough for P6, just in front of Jack, our teammate. So good enough to be there as we're going to break here. And it's going to actually set us down. And we're going to be in P16, unfortunately, due to that lap. So we do have to go out again, as we're just on the cusp of going through. And we do actually go through and get P11. But by the time all the other cars go through, we get P14. So that does see us through, but not a great result considering, as we go through on our qualifying lap, and it's going to be P16, so we do go out for a second lap obviously, and we do get 1.2 seconds quicker, but it's only good enough for P11 unfortunately. So we do start in P11, we don't go through to Q3, and let's see how we get on in the race now.
We're back in Italy once again for another round of the Formula One World Championship. And what a great race is in store for us today here at the oldest circuit on the calendar. Monza hosted its first race all the way back in 1922. With top speeds reaching 215 miles per hour, only a few places can challenge Monza's crown as the fastest circuit in F1. Hard braking zones going into the 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6 mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some closer action. And a warm welcome, of course, to my co-commentator here today, someone of tremendous experience and insight. It's the man himself, Anthony Davidson. Magnussen.
Well, it was a really impressive lap in qualifying to get pole position, but are they going to be able to hold on to the lead into the first corner with so many quick starters around them? So we're in for an exciting start then, I'm sure, and then they'll all start to settle down a bit and try and find a rhythm as they plan the next phase of the Grand Prix. It's important to know when to push and when to hold back so as not to overcook those tyres early on.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Albon, Perez, Carlos Sainz, and Stroll, Ocon, Kvyat, the rookie, and Max Verstappen, Ricciardo, Hamilton, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Norris, Raikkonen, Bottas. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen. Aitken, Russell, Latifi, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot today. And now it's time to head down to the track.
And as you could see by obviously the drivers lineup, we do start in P9 due to Hamilton and Bottas both getting penalties, and it's going to be a one stop from soft to the medium tyres on lap 10. So yeah, let's see how we can get on in Italy, in Monza, as we're starting right behind Kvyat and Ocon. 5 red lights, and we're underway as we get a good start once again, go straight to overtake, use as much juice in the car as possible, and we actually go side by side through signs looking for any sort of room. We go to the inside, try getting any room, but we can't, so we do go to the inside, make it 3 wide through turn 1, go round the corner, and there's yellow flags, and we've actually spun Perez behind us, and that's actually going to cause a safety car to come out. What drama here on this first lap, as we're up into P4, a safety car on the first lap due to a collision. I think that was Stroll hitting Perez from behind, hitting him into us and spinning him out. As we come through at the end of lap 3, yes, as we go through Parabolica, safety cars come in and we're about to get underway, and it's a bad start from us as we don't get on the throttle as early as we should have there, trying to wait for the right moment. And Kvyat's actually going to be all on our tail here as we're going to go to the outside of turn 1, let him have the inside, and we're actually going to just narrowly miss Albon there as we take the inside line. And there's actually yellow flags behind us as we go through into turn 2, and we go through on Curva Grande, and we're up still in P4, but we've got Perez and Kvyat coming at a rate of knots. Perez round the outside of Kvyat, and we're going to give him the inside, we're going to have the outside, we're going to slow the car down and just get through the chicane, and we're still in P4 for the time being as we've got Perez and Kvyat biting out our heels here. We're trying to stay with Albon, but he's got a 2-second gap now to us in front as we go through in turn 7, and now we're going to use as much overtake as possible. And there's a yellow flags behind us. I don't know who that is, but there is yellow flags behind us as we go through Ascari, slow on the power, get the exit perfect to have as much pace down this main or back straight as Perez is gone to the inside of Parabolica. We're on the outside, we're going to have to float the car around the long way, and we just brake a bit later. Lewis Hamilton's out of this Grand Prix now. He's the one who's got the yellow flag as Perez hits into the side of us, and we're going to sail in front of him. He must have had a small bit of damage there from the way he hit us. He's still on our tail as we're using all of our overtake as we can possibly do. He's going to try to move down the inside. He does back out. He doesn't think it's possible, and we're going to keep the corner, and we're going to keep P4. As you can see, there's the yellow flags from where Hamilton went off just one lap ago there at the end of Ascari. I'm surprised that's not a safety car again. But it's not, as Perez is on our tail. He's going to try the outside this time of Parabolica. We're going to take the inside. We're going to have to break that slightly bit earlier, but we're going to dominate the corner and just box him out, and we're going to take the corner, and we're going to stay in P4 as he's actually slotted in behind now, and he's actually got Kvyat right behind him on his tail as DRS is enabled, and we're going to stay P4 as we come across the line here for lap 7. We've still got the AlphaTauri and the Racing Point directly behind us. We've bridged a bit of a gap to him as we brake a bit late there, and we've actually got across. We've got across, and now they're saying we've cut the corner. It's a 3-second time penalty. That's going to go at the end of our race, and that's going to cost us hugely here. And we were meant to pit on lap 10, remember, but we're not going to. We're going to pit now here at lap 12. Due to the safety car obviously being out as long as it was, it did mean that we could stay out a little bit longer from where we weren't pushing the tyres as much, and we're just trying to save them. As we're going to box now for the medium tyres. We was in P4, and we're actually going to stay in P4 as well, due to Vettel getting back through. Can we stay out ahead? Yep, it looks like there's no cars coming up. And we're actually going to stay in P4 with Ocon behind, and it's a 4-second gap for the time being, with Bottas behind him as well. So we do have a small gap that we do need. Don't forget, 3-second time penalty as well. But as we come through here at lap 18, and Bottas did get past Ocon, and he has closed the gap within those couple of laps now, and he's right on our tail. He's trying to look down the inside of Ascari. We do cut him off and go across where we're going to break through, and we're going to keep the position for the time being. But as we go through here around Curva Grande, here on lap 19, we've got Bottas and Ocon both right on our tail. Don't forget, we've got the 3-second time penalty, so theoretically they are ahead of us, but we give them the outside lane. We go to the inside of Ascari, and we actually spin. We make contact with one of the speed bumps round the chicane, and we've not only let Bottas through, but we've also let Ocon through, and now we've got to stay with him as long as possible. We don't feel like we've got enough speed through this track, but we've got to keep with him as much as possible as we go through Ascari. And we're actually gone through it very slowly. We've actually dipped a toe in the gravel, nearly spun it. We kept it in order just enough, but Kvyat is coming at a rate of knots like the torpedo he is, and he's going to make the position, and we're down into P7 now, on track of course. Kvyat's up ahead. We've got Norris and Verstappen behind us. Can we keep ahead with these couple of laps to go? 3 more laps. Can we stay in front? Can we keep P7 for the time being? But as you can see, Norris is right on our tail, and he's got the move done just before Parabolica. And we're just going to have to settle behind now, as Verstappen is right on our tail at the end of Parabolica. So that's another position we're going to drop down. And don't forget, with that 3-second time penalty, we're going to be behind Giovinazzi as well. So it depends on where Ricciardo is. It's just about in range. We're going to dive down the inside, but he does actually block us off well. So we tried to line the car up back where we needed to be, but he does block it off down the centre. So Verstappen stays in position. As we've got Giovinazzi, who's came at a rate of knots. I don't know whether he was saving his tyres perfectly, ready for this moment. But he's right on our tail now. He's looking to have the inside. We're going to take the outside, sail the car around. He gets in front of us with a lot of speed. So we go to the inside, make the corner, and get the position back. And we're up again into P9. But don't forget, with that 3-second time penalty, it's going to be a lot lower than P9. And we're going to be finishing outside the points, unfortunately, due to a mistake that I made, braking late, unfortunately. And we're just going to try to keep the position on track, save a little bit of dignity, and we're going to stay in P9 on track. But unfortunately for us, we're going to drop down, and we're going to finish in P12. It's going to be P12, unfortunately. And we're outside the points. It wasn't a great race from us today. Very disappointing in the result, disappointing in the performance, especially with that 3-second time penalty.
Here we are then, a thoroughly deserved win in Italy after another excellent Grand Prix. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari. And after this round of the World
But as you can see there was a 1-2 from Ferrari at Italian Grand Prix, of course, at Monza. So you love to see it. Great scenes from them. But for us, very disappointing result. Down in 12th. No points on offer for us today. Albon obviously getting into P3, so a great result for them. And that's actually going to stitch us up a little bit, considering we're going to drop down into P7 due to Albon obviously getting a big load of points. And yeah, we're going to be dropping down the order, and we're going to be in P7. Hopefully we can get that back. We're 8 points behind Albon, and we're going to stay in 4th in the Constructors. No worries there. And that's where we're going to end the video. Unfortunately for us, it wasn't a great episode, but hopefully we can bounce back at the next episode. If you have enjoyed it, please like it. If you haven't already, please subscribe. If you have any thoughts, if you have any thing you want to mug me off on, please comment them down below. I do like to read them, whether it's a mug off or a compliment. I do and will reply to them. Please comment them down below. I've been at Phil the Pain PW, or Nick Payne if you prefer, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you watch the next episodes. Goodbye.